French factory workers could be forced to wear social distancing devices.
Hula hoops came to mind. Remember?
I didn't see a single hula hoop last week.
Plans for factory workers to wear social distancing dog collars that go off like an alarm if people stand too close to each other have caused an outcry in France.
Woo! That's a toughie.
Demeaning.
Yeah.
Wow. Dog collars, huh?
Someone sent this article to me. They knew about the new show and stuff here, and they're like, I don't know how this works, but here's one that you might be interested in. And I'm like...
I'm glad you explained that, because I was wondering what you were searching that you... Dog collars in France.
Right?
Taking a trip somewhere, right?
Social distancing, yeah.
Well, I did notice when I was looking into this that it was speaking of dog collars or something you can put around your waist. And I know it sounds like they're experimenting a little bit as far as...
Correct. However, they're in use.
Are they?
Keep talking, and I'm going to look to see where they're in use.
And from my understanding, it could, as far as notifications of how you know you're too close, it would sound like a loud 85 decimal, a light, a vibration. So they're kind of going with different ways of letting you know. But I would not wear a dog collar. I would not wear that. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm just surprised they went there. Honestly, they didn't think of anything for bracelets. You know, we have all these rubber bracelets, things going around now. A dog collar?
A card in your
People have their phones on them. They have their phones on them. Can't their phone?
The idea is that it makes the alert. So the dog collars, they already have that figured out, right?
Yeah.
They can alert. There's sounds. There's obviously electric zaps.
Oh.
I was just waiting for that shock collar.
Mm-hmm.
I would not want
How
that.
demeaning.
Exactly.
But their union is trying to fight it, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, the union is fighting it. Correct. So I'm gonna look to see where they do have these in. They literally are using these somewhere. So I'm gonna look for that. But
so they have a tracking system on their phone, and you can go in and shut it off. And they started that, I don't know how many months ago, so that they can track where people are during the COVID crisis.
Mm-hmm.
So they can do their,
Yeah, but
I can't think of the word right now, the COVID tracking to see
Yes.
where you're at. So essentially, I mean, our government knows where we are
right now.
anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But on the flip side, it's a private employer. And if you don't like it, go get another job.
Yeah.
Which is easy to say, but it's a private employer. And if this is what they feel they need to do, because from what I read, COVID in France is really,
I was
really
just going to
bad.
ask
Like
you,
the worst in the
what are their
EU.
numbers?
They're
I mean,
pretty
is
high.
So
yeah,
maybe
their numbers are bad. That's correct.
Maybe the company's being proactive in trying to save their employees. Because look what happened at all the meat processing places in the U.S. when COVID broke
Farmland
out.
and all that, yeah.
They were all shut down, and then we had a meat shortage and the farmers couldn't sell their livestock. So it's a different angle to look at it from. But I also agree there's better ways to do it than a dog
Right.
collar.
Supposedly, it doesn't go off if you're in the bathroom or in the canteen, which I am assuming is the break room to them.
Canteen.
But I mean, yeah,
But so you can be close in the bathroom or in the canteen, but not on the manufacturing floor.
it's the way they made it sound. Like
Yeah.
I think they're trying to soften the blow of evasion of privacy, kind of a moment. You know, like I don't know, or feeling like they're being tracked in everything that they do.
So there's a desensor when you go into the bathroom that deactivate. I mean, I'm just looking at the logistics of this.
I was wondering that
collar shocker thing. It deactivates when you go to the bathroom, or in the cafeteria, but out on the sales floor or the manufacturing floor, it's full force.
People are going to have to look this up, but I believe Sweden is using something very similar to what this is. Yeah.
Damn IKEA.
Back to
I think you have to put your own collar together.
Comes with instructions.
Probably, right?
Or none.
Or not.
What you got for Christmas? Oh,
Again?
Another dog collar.
Can't their phones do that? I mean, our government can ping our phone and know right where we're at.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Why do we have to have contact tracing to this kind of level? Are we not humans, and can they not trust us?
Thank you. Yeah.
yeah.
What's self-responsibility of I back away. I need a little bit more space.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing for me that's really disturbing is that they are literally backing us into I say humans, these elite people. Clearly, in this factory, these 2,500 employees, they're not really giving them a choice. They're backing all these people into a corner. And what happens when you're backed into a corner? Every single time. It might not be this year. It might not be this year. It might be next year or in 10 years or whatever, because when you go down a path like this, it doesn't stop at all. And that's disturbing to me. They're literally, they come out and say that these noisemakers, these decimals, 85 decimals is what they're saying. Decibels, sorry. That's not good for dogs and stuff, and they don't want. Now they're going to put them on people. Wait a minute.
4 inches under.
Wait a minute.
Goodness. What about the plant over in Wisconsin? Remember that inserted chips or a little microchip, so people could scan in and out and everything like that.
Yeah, I don't know if they did it.
They did.
They did.
It was
okay.
optional. They did. It was optional. It
Sure.
wasn't mandated, but they did. It was a trial thing over in Wisconsin.
Sure.
But you know what I mean? Is there an option? You know what I mean? They're not saying there's even an option for people to do this.
Correct.
They just want them to do it. That's why the unions.
And that's why it's a
defending them with
slippery
that.
slope. But we could talk about Revelations that was written about 2,000 years ago, and the prediction of the microchip in your skin on your hand. By the way, but that's probably a different podcast.
Yeah.
Altogether.
But it's going to
Be an
say that
interesting
some have mandated different things like this, and like you're saying, is there any not personal responsibility left anymore?
And I think people would be responsible. Okay, let me just put it like this: when I go into a high school and talk about my daughter's distracted driving crash, I've never asked anybody if they text and drive. I've never asked them, and I've never told them not to do it. What I do go in there and do is I give them the story, I give them my why, I give them what I learned from it, and I empower them to make a good decision.
Yep.
Nobody else that I've ever seen in the circle that I am in that talk about this kind of stuff do it that way. They always tell you what to do and what not to do and when to do it and when not to do it. And this is just another step in that to put people in that corner.
I feel like this article, I think the dog collar thing is ridiculous. I really do. I understand, like you said, if you're going to work there, they have the right as a business to maybe an ankle bracelet. We know that's in place too. Not from personal experience. But,
No.
As Lisa points to Harvey, not personal experience, but
so I've heard.
I have a pretty squeaky clean record. I just like to add that.
Well,
But we focused and we talked a lot about on masks last week, this week, and I think maybe this is bringing a little bit of light to social distancing. There is more to than just wearing a mask or washing our hands, and I think maybe this is a eye-opening to the social distancing part of it. A little bit. I mean, that was the whole point of it, isn't it?
Yeah,
is to keep each other away from each other while you're on the factory.
To keep people away from each other, but it also tracks when you do. It's contact tracing. It's a double edge, right?
so can't they just get hula hoops? I mean, really, can't they just get hula hoops like we talked about last week?
Hang them from a
I
hat
would want to
and-
work there.
Okay, so I talk
Everybody has
about
great ways.
trust versus force a lot in different talks I've given. And so clearly they don't trust people. And why don't they trust people? Because they don't educate people. So if the COVID thing, if people like Fauci and some of the, I mean, he's changed what he's talked about in the last like 9-10 months, like 7 or 8 times to my recollection. And I don't trust him at all anymore. Right?
Right.
Because he keeps changing it.
Right.
Now, if he would have come out and said, look, man, I don't have a freaking clue,
Right.
but here's what I think you should do.
He'd
Stay
be a
away
lot
from
better.
stay away from people, 6 feet away. Wash your hands more. If you wear a mask, it might help a little bit. Be honest. Educate. And you know what? It'd all be over. If it was ever going to be over.
We think this will work. Please try it until we find an actual solution.
That's that they didn't even say it that way.
No,
Right.
I'm
Right.
saying that's if they had it, like you
Yeah.
were saying.
Compared
Yeah.
to the mandates
Right.
for some people.
Yes. Yes.
And then you get the pushback, yeah.
Yeah. So that to me is just so it's I think it's so much deeper. I think that they're not. It's hard to get people to do the right thing when you've got the people saying what you're supposed to do and mandating what you're supposed to do and then not doing it themselves. So trust versus force. So how can we trust them when they're flip-flopping all over the place? How can we trust them when they tell us what to do, but they don't abide by it? And so now they're trying to force it on people. And so I think if the trust was there, there would be zero need for force.
Kind of like wearing a mask at federal property, but then you're at federal property and you're not wearing a mask.
I knew you were going to bring that up.
Well, it's hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Well,
It's-
what's really bad was
lack
that
of trust.
Was what what the press secretary said about it. You know, did you see what the press secretary said about that?
Strawberry shortcake? No.
What she said. Let me see if I can find it, but I don't know if I have
He
it.
was celebrating.
She said it.
Yeah.
So and it was about celebrating, and that there were more things to worry about. I want to try to get it verbatim, but
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Your second day in office, you better be leading by example.
Yeah.
No, it was the,
and that's exactly
first
my.
day,
it was the
wasn't
point.
first day, right after the
Oh, yeah,
inauguration.
sorry,
They went
you're
over
right.
there
Yeah,
to
it
Lincoln
was the
Memorial.
inauguration party.
Tour.
And,
yeah. Virtual tour. Yeah.
Yep. And so right away, you know, they're not wearing masks and not social distancing and partying, and so it's like and that's my exact point is if you're gonna say these things and come out with all these different rules for thee but not for me stuff, we
Yeah.
can't trust them.
How much have we seen of that?
I'll lead by example. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So going back to that factory, I'm going back to the logistics of, I've worked in a factory, how do they, it's kind of Big Brother watching you. How do they shut this dog collar thing off when you're going to the bathroom? How do they shut it off when you're going to the canteen? But then how do they not track like your production? How do they not track your piece rate? You know what I mean? How are they?
Are they tracking how long you were on a break?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
You weren't in the bathroom long enough.
So
to
that's
wash
what
your hands.
that's what I'm thinking. You know what I
Wow.
mean? It's Big Brother watching you, government.
And here's the other thing: is
over
that
control,
the
overreach.
factory didn't have, I don't believe, any cases of COVID. So it's not like they had
correct.
an outbreak.
The factory that they're talking about, there was not an outbreak.
Wow.
According to what I had read on
Wow.
a different article. This one didn't say it. But
The numbers
so
were
maybe
very
they're being
high.
the country was super
country,
high.
yes. And
So I'll give them credit for trying to be proactive. It's just their approach was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it seems just so degrading.
yeah.
A dog.
And and then you wonder too, like, I don't know,
Like, how
were
much
the
of a
employees
Peloton?
included in any of the talks of, proposing all this? Did they have a say in it or not? I'm assuming not, because they seem pretty upset about it. But if they did have a say in it, did they still go forward with it? So there's some other things I'm curious about.
Or the union. Was the
Yes.
union included?
Yeah.
Which that would be number one.
There
Is
you
they're
go.
representing the employees.
Right.
yeah, they talk about the union and stuff in here and how
They're
the
fighting
union's fighting back.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But
Personal-
I can't find it.
Personal
exactly what it
accountability.
is.
I mean, holding even those in your circle or your government accountable.
Yeah, absolutely. Accountability is key. But that's, quite frankly, they're not holding people accountable. In our first story with history, that's social justice stuff. I mean, how far back do we go? I'm from the Logan clan in Scotland. Is there justice for me? I mean,
That could be a great topic for next week.
yeah, I don't know, right? Like England,
Only
and
if you wear a kilt,
Scotland,
though.
and what's that?
Only if you wear a kilt, though.
Yeah.
Wear a kilt next week? I could do that.
He's too short to wear a kilt, isn't he?
Wow, just
No, I'm
busted
too long.
him.
You gotta have long legs to do that, don't you? You gotta have
I'm
long
just worried if
legs.
there's 4 collars at the door next time we come. I'm just saying.
Little shot collars.
Gift alert! Gift alert! Let's move on. So this is the local gift. We obviously have returned that. So 2
right.
gifts this week. Crazy.
I can't wait.
We get lots of
Yeah, go for it.
lots of
Get to it.
surprises.
This
Go
is
to
like
it.
Ben. When I sit down to eat, I like take a little bite of my dessert first. So I've been sitting at this in front of me. It's been a challenge. I mean,
I always think
Yes.
everybody should have dessert first once
I
in
do
a while.
too.
You never know
Like-
what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
'Cause
My
you want
daughter
to make
would agree
sure
with
that
this.
you have room for dessert.
Right. So
you
you got to
gotta
pace
get-
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. You made me sit with this in front of me the whole time.
Yeah.
What do you
Oh my
got?
gosh, this is an amazing.
Why is it amazing? I
amazing.
can't.
Okay.
Okay. Wait.
I
Don't
know
say
it's
it. Don't say it
green.
yet. Don't say it. Because I know what's in it because obviously by process
Did
of
you
elimination.
peek?
No, I'm in charge.
He's the
Right.
dog's collar zapper.
He's the
Clearly, I'm
gatekeeper.
in charge. Can't you tell?
The little guy on the end's in charge.
But did you notice the wrapping paper?
I did. It was candy
Christmas.
canes.
What about the other wrapping paper?
Candy canes.
They were matching.
Therefore, no idea what was in what box.
But one had a
One
blue
had a
bow
blue.
and one had a gold bow.
But they weren't. They were done at the same time.
Oh.
Right. And then the bows were added later. So
So you didn't know.
So I did not have a clue, Lisa, that you were going to get this gift of the week,
Gotcha.
which is why she says it's amazing.
Oh.
It is
Let's
amazing.
hear it.
What
Can
is
I
it?
read it?
Yeah.
It is $100 gift card to
Wait.
Salt and Pepper Photography in Rochester.
What?
Right?
Salt and pepper.
How ironic is that,
Amazing.
Lisa?
It is
How
ironic.
is that?
Look,
Yeah.
I want to say this. Thank you for doing that.
That was very
Absolutely.
I need
nice.
to
Yeah.
do that. Lisa
You give a
texted
lot.
me.
Lisa gives a lot to the community.
Yeah. Lisa texts me and she's like, "Hey, what do you think?" And I said, "Let's do 2 gifts. Thank you."
That's
Absolutely.
very nice.
that.
Yeah.
We live in a great community, and I think whenever you can pay it forward, do it. And this is an amazing thing that we're doing. I really believe that. So, and everybody needs an updated headshot or family photos or
And
Yeah.
let's do
dog
some more
or-
promoting. I was
Business
just
cards, dating profiles.
well, I was just
yeah.
going to say, what can this $100
Tinder pics?
get you at Salt and Pepper Photography?
It can get you a lot. It really can. Give me a call. 226-4875. Southwest Rochester. Check us out on the website or Facebook, all social medias. But
Very nice.
yeah, bring your social.
Are you doing anything special for the 14th, February 14th?
What's
have
February
been doing.
14th?
I know, right?
Single Girls Day.
I'm treating myself.
Especially when
Treat
you're a florist.
yourself.
Yeah.
Single Awareness Day.
Especially when you're a florist.
You're gonna be like right behind the character that has the famously most bleeps in any kind of media ever.
Why is that?
We're gonna have to bleep out all kinds of like just dating stuff. You know, you're gonna be right behind R2D2.
Am I?
His language was so terrible they had to bleep out everything he said.
And where can we find you again, Martha May? We'll do what we can. I'm just helping out. I'm trying to be the
good,
wing
I
woman.
know. Be a,
I'm teasing you. You know that.
be a matchmaker. They say it's your friends that you find someone in love.
Great.
All right, if you want to win the local gift card of $100 for Salt and Pepper, go ahead and text me at 507-944-7395 or email hello@mattloganspeaks.com. And make sure that you say that your name and that you're interested in the local drawing. Because if you're not local, the $100 at Salt and Pepper probably isn't going to work out very well.
True.
So
You
that,
can fly me down to
local
Florida.
people in the Rochester, Minnesota area, that's super important. So text us. You have till 8 p.m. on Monday. What's the date on Monday, guys? Do we know?
Oh,
Wait,
wow.
the 20th was Wednesday.
25th.
25th.
Using my fingers.
Let's use all 8 toes and.
So true.
Hey, if you haven't already, hammer the like button. If you haven't seen the video, it's coming up. So watch the next video, and we'll see you guys next week.
Hey, a lot of people have asked how they can support the work we're doing here at Matt Logan Speaks. Well, you see this hammer that I got in my hand? It's pretty big. All you have to do is hammer the share button. Go ahead and hammer out a comment to us. Go ahead and hammer the like button. Go ahead and hammer the subscription button. Go ahead and hammer the notification bell so that when we have new content up, you're the first to know about it. We really appreciate the comments, shares, likes, because you know what? That's the best way you can support us, because the algorithms on all these fancy computers, that's what they need. We appreciate it.